Hi everyone, I'm Rozyroz and I'm here today with HolZ, who has made it all the way to the top 8 of the Dominion Online Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, first of all, would you like to introduce yourself to the community?
Yeah. My username is HolZ. I might well be the double age of some players in the tournament. I'm 43 years old. I live with my partner and two sons, 4 and 1 year old, in Switzerland. Originally, I was born in Germany, which is also why I started in the Dominion World Championship along with Germany. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm a double citizen, and yeah, Switzerland has basically become our home, and yeah, um, very at home in Switzerland. My brother, for those guys, I mean, I'm playing a lot of Americans in Dominion, so my brother lives in San Diego in California. So yeah, I'm used to like a 9, 10 hour time shift for video calls. So yeah, other means of communication. Um,
All right, great. So, now would you like to talk about how you came up with your username?
yeah, that's a story from back in high school. So we had this funny idea to just add a Z to different names. So if someone was called, like, let's say, Martin, we would just call him Martin Z or Martins. And then my first name is Holger, and then it ended up with Hol and then a Z, so it ended up with Holz. That's kind of yeah, the story about it. 25 years ago, probably 27 years ago, and I just kept it as a username in, yeah, online gaming and other like fun events where you come up with some other names.
All right, great. And so your username is the marquee card. Did, how did you pick that as your avatar?
Oh, yeah, right. I don't even know what it was at the very beginning. Probably Tactician. I like that one a lot, the artwork. And Marquee is also mostly the artwork, but also the kind of trade-off you get with it. So you draw, but not unlimited, and you can't just get unlimited copies of it. So yeah, this kind of mix of artwork and how it works, and the balancing act it asks you to do is yeah what made me choose that card.
Great. And then when and how did you start playing Dominion?
Yeah, I'm kind of prepared on that question. So I looked in the charts on the Dombot, and it seems like I started in June 2020 on Dominion.games. And I remember before that, I definitely played offline, like over a beer sessions with friends once a month, and then it worked well for me. I really enjoyed the game, so I felt, yeah, can I play that more often? And then COVID hit, and then I, yeah, learned about Dominion.games and started playing online, and then really got engaged with the game, connected well, very well.
Great, yeah, that's definitely a way many players get involved. So, what is your favorite card shaped object and why?
You mean favorite card, or
Card shaped
sorry, I didn't
object,
get the.
so either card or a landscape.
Okay, like anything which basically appears in the game.
Correct.
Yeah. Um, my my favorite card of all times is the Bounty Hunter. Since it was launched, basically, fell in love with it the first time it was launched. And yeah, the reason is it's this low regret card, unless it bottom decks, of course, after the first shuffle. But if you buy the bottom and the Bounty Hunter on your open, you are almost like guaranteed to have at least a decent first shuffle if it doesn't bottom deck. And that I like a lot, along with the thinning, the artwork. But it's just a very beautiful card. The idea of this, I think it was the first time they introduced exiling with that expansion. So yeah, I really like exiling in general and Bounty Hunter in particular.
Great, yeah, definitely a good card. Very unique when it came out. And then, what is your least favorite card shaped object?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, I checked my ban list before the championship just to see, if is that something I really want to use in the championship or not? And then I ended up, and it's, I mean, personal preference probably. I really ended up putting a lot of attack cards on it, um, particularly those that are they have this negative snowball effect, like a Berserker. That's one of my least favorite cards, I think. Or the Kitsune, one of the most recent ones. It just destroyed so many of my games, particularly when I was player two, that I just didn't enjoy those cards. So I put them on my ban list. Berserker and Kitsune are the most prominent ones front of my top of my head.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, attacks can definitely be brutal sometimes, which leads me to wonder like what are your thoughts on the new expansion Rising Sun?
I like it a lot. I played the Rising Sun release, sort of a release tournament, I think, the Quarantine Cup format. So we just played a series of games. And yeah, what I like there is the mm, the strategic or tactical element that these shadow cards add. I think that's probably the one that stands out for me, what I like most about the expansion. So a card that basically sits there, you know that it's there, and it's also there for player one or player two. You trigger the shuffle, and then it sits at the bottom, and you can just factor that into your plans. You can get multiple of them and decide whether you want to play one each turn or whether you want to bulk them all in one, which depends on the number of actions and also what you want to achieve with each turn. But there's some really fine nuances, and I'm still learning how to use them properly. Probably the Takuni is one of my favorite new cards. I still haven't fully mastered it, but it just feels great to have it in the deck. This trashing card that sits there ready to go and help you out on the first shuffle is really an amazing art work or craftsmanship that Donald has shown there. I really like it a lot.
Great. And then do you have a favorite moment from the tournament so far?
Well, probably yeah. Um, I mean, it was 2-3, I think, in the round of 16. So I was behind. I didn't play well on the first day. Didn't feel good as well. So I was actually glad we moved the second part to the next day. And then it all felt different right from the morning on. I just felt I could be turning this around. And then the games went well. I felt calm in my decisions. And I think this kind of the feeling of turning around a 2-3 into a 4-3, that was in the round of 16 where there's quite a bit at stake. That was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congrats on making it. So now that you're
Thank you. Yeah.
here, your quarterfinals opponent is Nazala, and I believe you already scheduled your match for a Friday. So have you played him before?
I definitely played him on ladder. Um, don't recall. Probably I will probably look it up. I kind of come from the chess world, so I prepare on my opponents, at least the ones that are kind of known. So Nesala, I know from the German championship, I think. They played on one of the teams, and then the ladder, and um, he's he can play very strong and fast. I think much faster than I usually play. But he also has some games where he doesn't play well, and that's kind of what I'm banking on. That yeah, I play well, and he might have one or the other game where he doesn't or plays too fast, and that could be my chance to actually make it to the semifinals.
Well, I think you have a chance regardless. You've proven yourself to be a great Dominion player. But if you don't win, who do you think will?
Ooh, yeah, there's a few strong players still in the tournament. Agu, the defending champion, would be my guess. Is definitely yeah. I think also the way he plays, he feels like wanting to double down on the win. There is Kazumaro, right? The other Japanese player, also very strong. There's two players I don't know, Kayoshi, and there's one I even can't pronounce the name, with an S. Um, so can't tell about them. Um, who else is in? Ah, Rubeshti, right? Yeah, I mean, very strong player from ladder at least. I know them. So Agu or Rubeshti, if I'm not gonna make it, one of those two guys would be my best bet.
Great, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard because like 5 out of the 8 players this year in quarterfinals are all Japanese, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting
yeah,
to see how it plays out. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
thank
The one thing that I find different in the way they play is, and I might be wrong, um, but like we are trying to set up these huge engines and impressive play, get a lot of cards put on the table or put out, and they seem to be playing less emotional about a big deck or big engine. They just play very efficient, and that in the kingdoms that I've seen, the games I've watched, this efficient play seems to have been successful. So yeah, that's one thing I keep in my mind if I like meet a Japanese player in the semifinals or in the finals even, then I'll ask myself twice, do I really need to build so big, or is there some more efficient way of putting pressure, pile pressure, or greening pressure on your opponent? And that's what they seem to be doing very well. So I think it's not a coincidence that they have some of their players, yeah, advancing to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence at all, but all of the players, including you, especially you, I'd argue, earned your spot. Um, so thank you so much for your time, and good luck in the quarterfinals and hopefully onwards.
And thank you for making the interview. And I'd also want to, yeah, spend or take the opportunity and say a thanks to the guys that I learned a lot about during my, yeah, now 4 years of Dominion. Yeah, there's Via Smith who did a lot of videos. There is Mick who has done, yeah, great commentary, great videos. Jay Nails. There's quite a few who really regularly comment their games, and I've learned a lot, particularly at the beginning of, or when I got into it more competitively, is when I really learned. Before that, I couldn't even tell the nuances they were applying, but now with more and more experience, I can see what kind of, yeah, nuance they are capable of, um, to apply in their play. So yeah, great. Many thanks to those, and also many thanks to Donald, of course, for actually creating the game and keeping coming up with new expansions, which always, I mean, you can tell that there is a lot of work going in. It's not something that he randomly puts out or just sequences whenever he feels like a half a year or so there needs to be another expansion. He takes the time he needs to bring those expansions out, and I think as players we can feel that energy and thoroughness that goes in. So really really great. Thanks.
Yeah, so thank you again to all of the commentators and of course Donald X. This game is amazing, and the community would not be possible without you. Thank you again to HolZ, and congratulations.